Well, hello. Instead of standing in front of a kitchen island, I'm on a different workspace today. I'm outside in one of my flower beds. I'm actually underneath my kitchen windows. So while I'm usually inside, I'm out here. And this is kind of my entry point into the house. And actually, as you drive in, you kind of see it right away too. So this is an urn I always have lots of kind of just something exciting things to look at. So during the growing season, spring and summer, my large agave, one of them is in here, like up to 5 foot, kind of tall and wide. And if you watch my stories, you've seen me mess with that. And I've taken that out because I'm transitioning to fall. And this fall, I want to give options. So this option is all about creating something out of faux or dried floral pieces, which I know they can either be in vogue or out of vogue. You either love them or you hate them. This is for the people that maybe don't want to do annuals or plants that they have to water and keep alive, but want to have something seasonal in a container. And that's why it's all about the florals. Now, I don't like necessarily a fake flower that is trying to be a real flower. Instead, I like to pick a lot of natural elements that are dried. So I have a lot of pods that have maybe been colored or sprayed orange so they have color, preserved eucalyptus, of course, little shocks of wheat because, I mean, it's fall, and then just some like natural sticks. And then we're gonna fill in with some other elements too, kind of for some interest, for some surprise, even some dried eucalyptus that I dried. So I'm gonna start putting this together, but what you wanna think of when you're doing something that is large like this, and this is just an urn that I usually plant in, it has soil in it as a base. And you can see that right here. It has just soil. I've taken out the agave, and here's the little baby one left. We have so many of these. But what I'm gonna do is I have one bamboo stick, and I have it cut so I can stick it in the middle, and it only comes up so high. And then I have all these little zip ties. And these I'm gonna use, I put smaller ones together because that's what I had. And these I'm gonna use to create a nice sturdy base and actually tie some of these elements onto this bamboo stick. And that's gonna give us our beginning so we have something that stays upright, because guess what? I live in the country, so I get wind, I get rain, who knows what I'm gonna get. This isn't a protected spot, but you still wanna make sure that everything is gonna be able to have something to be able to grab onto, something that's actually gonna hold it upright. So I'm gonna actually start with taking some of these big sticks. Now, you can buy any of this at really any craft supply store. So whether it's just a mass market craft supply store, maybe you have a local one, maybe you're lucky enough for that, you can find a lot of these elements. So I'm gonna start by wanting to hide that bamboo stick. And again, the bamboo stick is just a carrier to be able to kind of hide and give good structure to everything we're doing. So I'm gonna put some of these, you know, what they are is kind of the same as like broom pieces. It's that same element, except it's just dried, and then you can use it. And if you can see, what I'm doing is I'm wrapping it around the stick, that big bamboo stick, and I wanna make sure that you don't really see the bamboo. And then once I have it around, see? You don't even see the bamboo. I'm gonna actually take my zip ties, and this is what I'm gonna secure it to that bamboo with. So you can just put the two pieces together. You can sit there and you can just make it tight. And then you have your first element done. So I'm gonna keep building on top of it. I'm gonna add the pods on top. I'm gonna add some of these shocks of wheat, and we're gonna build kind of our centerpiece. It's gonna come together, and then we're gonna fill in, and we're gonna finish it off. No watering, no annuals needed. I know, it's kind of nice, isn't it? I have it all put together, and what this is really just kind of that centerpiece, and I just kind of layered it on top of each other, and now I'm putting it down in the middle. That whole bamboo stick, what that's doing is just creating that nice center thing that's gonna hold it in and just stabilize it. So now you have the beginnings of an arrangement. Now, you can change the size of this for whatever container you're working with. Obviously, this is a large one, so the scale can be bigger. But right now, it looks like what? An out-of-place pencil just sticking up out of a pot. You don't want that. You want to fill in. So we have some texture and just, again, some natural color for fall. So a few years ago, and it actually was a few years ago, I grew tons of eucalyptus because why not? And I preserved it. Again, because why not? You just put it in like a glycerin solution and it soaks it up. So what I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna start putting this down in and cutting it what I need to length. Just, you know, so it kind of goes in and starts filling in all around this. And then I'm gonna put in multiple colors of eucalyptus. It's gonna start filling in, and we're gonna finish off with some flint corn for color and texture. And it really is just gonna be a very showy piece. You can kind of in the center stand some a little bit more up. That's why I like to have the dry soil in the bottom of this container to begin with, because then you have something to stick all of this into. You can kind of position it and use that soil as a glue to actually be able to give you a stabilized base. It's almost like a sand. So I'm gonna keep working around the perimeter. And as you can see instantly, this preserved eucalyptus, which how often do you homegrown preserved eucalyptus? You can buy it too, but it works really well. So I'm gonna keep going and we're gonna fill in. As you can see, the eucalyptus really fills in. That's really your filler. So that's where you're going to have something that's lower cost just to really fill in around. And you then have this big, beautiful thing that's kind of highlighted. So you can tell I picked a muted tone of the eucalyptus. Again, I preserved mine here at home, except for this malto, like this more burgundy color, I did not preserve at home. This is just naturally preserved eucalyptus, what it kind of the color it goes to. But then up here is where you kind of get more of that highlighted, wow. You can see all that wheat. It almost acts as like a little spotlight to just highlight all this. So I'm filling in now some bantam pods. They're just kind of a fun thing to add some great kind of texture, some great just like little something extra. I think anytime you're gonna do something like this, you wanna put some extra thought and care into it, just because this is kind of, you know, your showy piece. This is what people are gonna see right away, and it's gonna be unique. And once I put all these in, you can see what I also put in was some really fun flint corn. So I love flint corn because look at it. It has great color. It instantly just gives you that fall look. And what I like to do, if you can find it, leave the husk on, because that adds even more color, and it kind of just adds that extra texture and highlights from within. So guys, this is, okay, you know what? This brought out the creative in me. This is something, like way back in high school, I used to do a lot of dry floral. I bet we all did, right? That was your guys' high school experience too. But it's kind of fun to be creative and do something that maybe you just enjoy. It takes a little bit of time, but it's something you can just relax doing, and guess what? I never have to water this. It's just good to go. It's preserved, so it should last through the elements somewhat. After a couple months, it's gonna look haggard, but wouldn't we all after we're outside for that long? So I hope you enjoy it. What do I hope you do with it? I hope you share this video around. Why? Because it may inspire someone to do something fun. It helps me, but it helps everyone else see that this stuff is so doable. If I can do it from a craft supply store in my garage, I know you all can too. So have fun with it, enjoy the seasons, because guess what? We only get one of each season every year. You might as well enjoy it while they're here, and I love fall, who doesn't? So enjoy them, check my website, wiseguy.com, for tutorials, for how-tos, and for recipes. That's where they're all out. Until next time, go buy a pumpkin, go buy some florals, and have some fun.